Tom, welcome back to Colchester United, and you must be looking forward to building on what we did last year.
Yeah, definitely. I think we kind of go into pre-season now off the back of what was a good season. Obviously, ultimately disappointed, but I think if you'd said to us at the beginning of the season that we'd miss out in the last kind of couple of days of the season, I think obviously a bit of heartache, but we probably would have taken it. Obviously, I think we know that we had not an amazing start to last season, so I think bringing that to the forefront of our minds when it comes to pre-season and really hitting the ground running, I think is the group's thoughts.
And do you think there's an advantage this year that, I mean, last season you were probably one of 11 or 12 new signings that all had to bed in. Do you think with less kind of churn this summer, that better start might be more achievable?
Yeah, I think so. I think we already know the way that we're going to play, and we're going to try and stay the same way as we were towards the end of the season when we've done so well. So I think, yeah, not bringing in that many players, I think will probably help us. Obviously, new additions are always welcome and can help us, and you can sometimes get them star players come through the door, so they'll certainly be welcomed. But no, we've kind of got the spine of the team. Some people who had good seasons and they need to prove they can do it again to ultimately probably further their career. Whereas myself and maybe one or two others are kind of here to prove that we can help a team be successful, even if we are a little bit on the older side.
And some of that success last year was definitely down to defensive solidity, but you'll have to find a new centre-half parting with Fika leaving to go back to Cork.
Yeah, Kel's will be a big miss. I think ultimately it was a decision made on his family, which is obviously comes first, and I hope he does really well there. And yeah, he'll be missed. He'll be missed like on a daily basis because he was a character, But we had a really good partnership. Obviously, Goody as well. I played with him at the beginning of the season. Obviously, started the season like a house on fire. Had the strangest injury ever, which was a bit of a heart-stopping moment at the time. And then obviously he had a pretty crazy summer himself. So then you've got that with him, and then obviously Tuck's coming in. I don't think Tuck's got the game time he wanted last season with us, but I think that was also down to kind of he had a bit of bad timing in regards to coming in when we were doing so well. But then he played, and when he played really well. So I'm looking forward to that partnership as well.
And you mentioned about at the beginning of last season, would you have taken 10th place finish, given where we were before that? But this season, or now you've had time to reflect on it, were you disappointed that we didn't get in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it's strange, like the way that I put it as such. I think if you speak to kind of like the football club in a whole, like fans, people at the club, things like that, if you said like, look, this season before we start, you finish in the 10th spot, I think that people would have said, oh yeah, that'd be great. I think I had no baggage coming in, I had no affiliation, so I had never had any of the hard times at the football club. I felt really disappointed that we didn't make it. We could have secured it, and ultimately it was in our hands for quite a long time. So ultimately you've got to look at yourselves, which is really disappointing. But at the same time, we're a relatively young group. It's a real change in mentality from a winner's mentality to a kind of a loser's mentality, or someone fighting for their lives. That mentality is a little bit different. So I think that change in mentality was difficult for the group at times. And just kind of having that arrogance was probably difficult because they haven't had it before, like they've been going to games, getting beat. Whereas last season we were kind of turning up and rolling teams over for a period of time. So we had a solid base. We had a couple of injuries up top. I think if we'd kind of minimised them injuries on the top half of the pitch, I think we definitely would have. I think it would have been pretty comfortable, to be honest. So yeah, I think this season, if we can replicate what we've done last season and then add with a better start to the season, I think we'll be in a great position.
And for you personally as well, probably continuity is something you want as well. You played in a lot of the games, a lot of minutes. You'll be wanting to do that again. after a time where you spoke to us at the beginning of last season saying that you were toying with retiring and that, and then came here and wanted to give it another go, you must feel even more so now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I went away from the season like desperate to come back. Really. Once I'd had my break, I was kind of like ready and raring to go because, like you said, there I played. I think I was like 4th or 5th most appearances, and then the 2nd most minutes in the squad. So like, look, some people would have said that I wasn't able to do it or whatnot, just because, I don't know, there is a little bit of ageism in football these days. But no, I feel like I can do it again. To be honest with you, starting today, so I'm already 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ahead of where I was last year because I was late signing last year. So that'll only put me in a better space, really. So hopefully, and myself, I didn't start the season particularly well last season. So by kind of having them extra weeks and getting it in my legs and kind of seeing the ball a bit earlier, I think will help like myself as well. So
Brilliant. Cheers, Tom.
thank you.